Fallout Shelter has launched on PC, Guild Wars 2 announces Living World Season 3, all that and more. I'm Zach Sharps and this is Free to Play Weekly. First up in the news this week, Jagex has brought forth a brand new addition to the free-to-play strategy card game Chronicle RuneScape Legends. This new addition comes in the form of the 6th legend by the name of Morvren the Slayer Master. Morvren brings with him 37 brand new cards, and the legend boasts an aggressive nature with an array of violent monster cards. In order to unlock him, all you gotta do is be a computer-controlled version of the Slayer Master, and then he's basically available to you. In addition to the new legend, update 1.4 adds in a card history tracker, the beach party event, which will showcase 3 tropical environments with community quests, and the usual bug fixes. If you're looking for a fun strategy card game to play, Chronicle is certainly one I would recommend. The game that took mobile by storm last year is finally now on PC. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Bethesda's free-to-play Fallout Shelter. In addition to this PC move, a new update that adds an actual quest system has been added, and it does allow players to control their dwellers as they explore the wasteland, investigating abandoned buildings and dead vaults, as well as other familiar locations from Fallout 4. With this system, players can also put together groups of dwellers to take on larger tasks. Personally, I've spent over 10 hours in the game now that it's on PC, and I've been enjoying it a ton. It's given me something to really just micromanage on the side and then be a little bit more active during other parts, and the additional quests made the game much more hands-on as well, which is certainly good. I just wish it was on Steam instead of Bethesda's own launcher. Those of you exploring the lands of Wildstar will be happy to hear that the latest update is now live, bringing with it the Chua Warrior and the RN Engineer race class combos the developers promised a while back. This update also comes with a variety of other content such as multi-queuing, cross-faction instances, race and gender changes, and a whole lot more. You know those race class combos I was talking about a moment ago? Well, unfortunately, in order to actually access them, you're gonna either have to farm some Omni bits or fork over about $12.50 USD in the game's item mall. Another thing you can purchase in the game's item mall is a level 50 boost, which ultimately gets rid of the game's initial vertical progression, something a lot of devs are aiming to do these days. Speaking of vertical progression, do you guys remember the old Firefall before it was greatly changed in alpha? Well, I do, and it was a more interesting title back then for a variety of reasons. It seems Mark Kern believes so as well. The former Red 5 Studios CEO came out this week discussing a brand new project he hopes players are interested in creating with him, titled Project Ember. Kern put up a petition online to see how many are exactly interested in this project, and as of the recording of this episode, the petition has nearly reached its required signature count. In it, he mentions how he was once removed from Firefall, and the fact that once he was removed from Firefall, the game was basically ruined in his eyes, noting that the progression system, aka the horizontal progression system, that he hoped would set the game apart, was changed out with a vertical progression system that made the game feel very similar to other titles in the market. He mentions if Ember becomes a thing, many of the features that the early version of Firefall boasted, such as horizontal progression, involved resource gathering, an open world sandbox, and customizable omni-frame weapon suits will be featured. Personally, something about Firefall always bothered me, but as much as I thought the original version was more interesting, the release version I played a lot more. Not really sure why that is, however, what I do know is it's time for the question of the week. Last week on the show, I asked how big do you guys like your updates and how frequent do you like them? A user by the name of Lava Master stated the following: I think that mostly the updates depend on the game. However, overall, I think developers need to have a bunch of small updates over time to keep players happy until the big update is released. Thanks for your guys' responses, and this week's question is more of a poll, so feel free to leave your response down below, but a comment will not be featured. Instead, I'll sort of summarize all your guys' thoughts into a final logical conclusion. With a lot of developers trying to eliminate vertical progression by allowing you to buy your way past it, it does beg the question of if vertical progression is still the way to go, or do you guys prefer the horizontal progression method that a lot of sandbox MMOs have? To TLDR this, or TLDL I guess, vertical or horizontal progression, which do you prefer? Last up in the news this week, those of you guys who have felt content starved in Guild Wars 2 as of late will be delighted to hear that Living Story Season 3 will be kicking off on July 26th. Yes, ArenaNet details the following about this particular announcement. Living World Season 3 episodes will release every 2 to 3 months. We'll bundle Living World episodes with the kind of content updates we've been adding through our seasonal quarterly releases, but the frequency of releases may increase. Our goal is to deliver quality content on a sustainable cadence so we can drive the story of Guild Wars 2 and open world gameplay forward while also supporting our other game modes." End quote. Our own Jason Winter has discussed his issues with the content inconsistencies as of late, and as much as he thinks Season 3 sounds great, he's curious if they'll actually stick with their ambitions. Can't say I disagree with Jason. For how much ArenaNet has shown to be making on their financials, their content release pacing has been dreadful. You know, it isn't dreadful. Giveaways, of course. Yes, be sure to head on over to MMOBomb.com. Check out that giveaways page, bookmark it, and check it daily to ensure you never miss one. As for myself, signing out until next week's show, my name is Zach Sharps, and I'll catch you guys next time.